Hey, what's going on? This is Ricardo with the Code 7 Podcast Network, and we're about to get started for Open Mic Live. Usually, we do this on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and I was going to do this tonight at 9 p.m., but I thought, you know what the hell? Let's just get started now. I'm just was just fixing some stuff, waiting to go on, and I thought, you know what? Why not? Let's just go live now. Let's do this. But as always, a word from our sponsors.
At InDigital, we know the public safety professionals hold themselves to a high standard. In fact, standard doesn't do it justice. In over 25 years working alongside you, carrying millions of calls over our IP networks, your dedication has inspired us. That's why our ESINet goes beyond industry standards, not only i3 compliant, but designed to adapt to future development for a network you can count on when it matters most. Learn more at indigital.net.
Here in Greenville County, we have 8 different places where a 911 call can be answered.
It is the largest county in South Carolina. It's a challenge.
The type of information that a telecommunicator gets from Radius Plus is location-based technology. You can see where the caller is, if they have a medical issue, if they speak a different language. They're immediately able to text to that caller in their native language. It reduces response times because it immediately gets first responders where they need to be.
If Within the Trenches has ever taught you something, open your eyes to what it is like to be a 911 dispatcher, or has inspired you to become one, then help support us and join our Patreon. Get exclusive bonus content, one-of-a-kind swag, discounts on merchandise, ad-free early access to new episodes, and much more. To join, please visit patreon.com/WTT podcast. And if you're an industry partner, we have something for you as well. And now, for the show.
This is Jordan, and you're listening to the Code 7 Podcast Network.
Warning. This episode contains the 3 A's of podcasting: adult content, adult language, and awesomeness. You've been warned.
Dispatch.
There is no one over here to cook our lunch. We are waiting for our lunch, and there's no one here to cook our lunch.
All right, calm down. Where are you at?
The group home. Now, what are you going to do?
We'll get some help over there for you, okay?
Welcome to Open Mic, where we visit the lighter side of dispatch, because laughing is good medicine. Oh shit, here we go. We're about to get started here. Welcome everyone. It is September 10th, 2021, and we're about to get started here with Open Mic Live. I have my phone like right here for Instagram, and then of course my camera right here for everyone else. I've got this bright ass light. It's only like this big, but it is it's doing its job. It's actually working well. So all right, so we're good. This live broadcast is sponsored by InDigital, as well as Rapid Deploy and Carbine. And big shout out to patrons as always. I am just fresh off of the Kentucky conference. That was a lot of fun. Thank you all. Hold on a minute. I'm looking over here at Instagram. Jason says, "Fall like me in Vegas, we'll be fine." Yeah, I'm glad you made it out okay. So for everyone who is joining me here tonight, I do want to say, as I said right in the beginning, usually Open Mic Live is done on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. However, because I was at the conference and I was on the plane at the time and trying to get over here, I ended up not being able to do this. So here we are for Friday, doing this on Friday instead. And for those who are watching here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, the Wi-Fi isn't the greatest. However, for all of you here on Instagram, got 5 bars of 5G, baby. Hell yeah. So you won't have any lag time. You will, though, over here on the big camera. Maybe a little bit. And if it does, it's only for a few seconds. So I apologize for that as well. But yes, we're about to get started. If you have never been here for Open Mic Live, please throw that in the comments. I like to know who's here for the first time. I see a lot of people coming in here on Instagram. Roll call. Where are you watching from? And same thing over here for everyone else going through StreamYard on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. What is your number? So every week on Open Mic Live, we check in with each other to see how everyone is doing. And over here, let's see, we've got Shannon, we've got Trey, we got Tim and Halcyon jumping in. And I think one of my good friends from back in Dispatch, my Allegan days, has jumped in over here as well. So this is cool. Halcyon, down the block in Orlando. That's right. You're just around the block. Let's see. We've got Ohio up in here. Awesome. Let's see who else is coming in. But also, so Jules, my first time from San Francisco. All right. Welcome. So for the first timers here, what we do is we check in with each other. Okay. So we take about an hour out of our day to just check in and see how everyone is doing. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling? It's Friday. So how are you feeling? 1 being shitty and 10 being awesome. So how are you feeling? I'm probably about a 9. I'm doing pretty good. It has been an excellent day. I went to see my mom earlier today, and I got a fresh cut. So fresh and so clean. Gotta love that. So that was excellent to be over there and chill with my mom for a little bit. I'll be seeing her tomorrow as well, and bringing her to the 911 Wonder Women Inc. event that's going on tomorrow. So if you are here in the area for that as well, throw that in the comments. It's going to be an excellent time, and really looking forward to it. And let's see. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm 20,000. Shannon. All right. Excellent. Let's see. I'm on a vacation for the first time since 2018. Holy shit. I would be at that number as well if it was the first time that I had a vacation. Let's see. My homeboy Ernie's up in here. He says my barber calls it crispy. I like that. Crispy is good. Let's see. Overworked, understaffed out of 1. Okay. I'm hoping I can get your number up there, that we can get your numbers up. Because also what we're going to be doing is we're going to be sharing funny 911 stories. I see my homie Leah is jumping in here as well on Instagram. What's going on? Jason is at a 4. Let's see if we can get your number up. Jules at a 6. That's good. We'll see if we can get you up a little bit more. But we're going to be sharing funny 911 stories. So if you have any 911 stories that you want to share, please throw them in the comments. I will read them, and sometimes it can get pretty funny as I'm as I'm reading them, especially when I'm reading this shit and I break and I'm laughing so damn hard. We had a lot of laughing this past week, actually, at the Kentucky conference. Let me start with that as first. However, if you have any stories, like I said, just throw them in the comments. I'll keep talking, but I'll go back and I'll find them and I'll read them as well. So I give my shout out to the sponsors, to patrons. I've got Dispatch style. I was writing down my notes. I usually have them on my Evernote app, but the way I have everything set up here right now in my hotel room, I decided to just do it old school style and just write my shit down. So this past week was the Kentucky conference. It was an excellent conference as always. Thank you all for the opportunity to come and speak and also have the podcast there. There was a lot of stuff going on, a lot of different sessions. I was able to do a live broadcast there with LaFranc, with Halcyon from the Dispatch Lab, and we had a lot of fun doing that live broadcast. That was excellent. There was a lot of different things that we talked about, and I think at the end, Halcyon, if you're still on, I think at the end all we did was like sing. we were singing a bunch of different stuff. So there she is. She says, "Oh yeah, that train wreck." Yes, it was kind of a train wreck. Let me move my microphone up here just a little bit. And all right, there we go, right there. Kablamo. Okay, good. Oh, I just got some Trey. New patron. What's going on, man? I will get you your swag. Thank you very much for becoming a patron of the podcast. love it. There's a lot of perks that'll come with that, and a lot of other stuff that's going to be coming up as well that I'll be announcing soon. So the Kentucky Conference, there was a lot of stuff that went on there. I did the super session. So hold on a minute. Let me move. There we go. Sorry, I had to move my phone for everyone on Instagram so it can show up a little bit better. Okay, so I did the super session. It started at about 8:30 in the morning, but we ended up going a little bit later than that because they were having issues with the audio. I think my son Logan just popped on as well here on Instagram. What's up, buddy? I miss you. I love you. So we oh shit, and I'm about to talk about this stuff. Well, you're 17, so you're fine. You're an adult. Basically an adult. So we were there, and there were some audio issues, and the gentleman who was working on the audio, very cool dude, both of them that were working on the audio, thank you so much for that. But they were telling me, just go ahead and wait for a little bit. We'll get the audio going, get it started. And it ended up going almost 15 minutes over from the time that I was going to start. So I ended up saying, I'm just going to use my dispatch voice. I'm going to try to remember my dispatch voice and get it out there. So I stood about 2 rows in to the audience and then was just projecting and just talking really loud and going through. And the super session was for 2 hours. So I'm talking real loud and everything to try to get to the back of the room, which was perfect. It worked. But, then from the first part of it, the first hour was, just kind of, my story and such. And then talking about the IM911 movement as well, how it started, what it's all about, and just sharing a bunch of stories, because part of that was going to be the preparation for Imagine Listening. So the last hour of the session was Imagine Listening. And for those who don't know what Imagine Listening is a session where dispatchers and call takers get a chance to share their own IM911 stories. But the last half of that is Open Mic Live. So if you've been to an Imagine Listening session, you know how open mic can get. It takes one story for all of them to go downhill, right? But it makes it funny. It makes it funny, and it's an excellent time, because in that session in Imagine Listening, by the time we get to that part, you want to laugh, because all of the stories that we're sharing are very powerful. They're powerful. They're the stories that need to get out there, and they're amazing. And hold on a minute. Instagram here. Super cool to see your donation for Chicago. Yes, I wanted to help, and any way that I could, I wanted to help for those out there in Chicago. So yeah, I was able to do it, and it was good stuff. And just thank you for everything that all of you are doing and did with all of it there. So thank you very, very much. Excuse me. So hold on, I got a message here. It says, would love to have access to these conferences, excellent training opportunities. Yes. So I'm hoping that, with everything, I mean, things that are continuing to open up and such, there are some conferences that have canceled or postponed, but the same hope that a lot more people will get the opportunity to be able to go and attend these sessions. And a lot of people are still trying to get me to reconsider doing Dare to Be Great. Dare to Be Great 4. So I'm hoping, I'm thinking about it. I'm really thinking about it. That will, right there alone, will be able to give a lot of people the opportunity to, attend one of these conferences. It would be virtually, of course, but there's a lot that has come out from the Dare to Be Great conferences and a lot of the other virtual events as well. But specifically what we're talking about, here at the moment is Dare to Be Great, and I've done 3 of them so far, and they have been really, really good experience and everything. So I'm thinking about it. I'm really considering doing it. I mean, if the people want it, we'll see how it goes. Excuse me. We'll see how it goes. And Trey over here says, let's talk about how powerful that shirt is. I'm digging it. It was pretty awesome. I got it in Vegas when Navigator was out there, and it was at a place called Area 15. So that one was that's where I got it. And yeah, I love it. This shirt is awesome. Super soft as well. In the comments here, it says, thank you so much for Dare to Be Great. I'm ready to make it to an actual in-person conference, but you killed it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And Deborah says, I attended one. It was fantastic. Excellent. That is good. Hopefully the opportunities continue to come up for in-person as well as virtual and continuing on. Excuse me. So as for the super session, okay, like I said, once we're done with Imagine Listening, people are ready to laugh. Okay, they want to laugh, and the stories that we share, again, they're funny 911 stories, whether it be calls or incidents that happened, and it's the lighter side of dispatch. Okay, the lighter side of dispatch, because laughing is good medicine. Now, we're not laughing at the people who are calling. It's just the incident type. It's the incidents that are happening that you end up thinking, what? Like, for real? And a couple, I'm gonna mention a couple of these. Okay, there's a couple of them, and Halcyon, if she's still here in the comments, she knows exactly what I'm talking about, because there were a bunch of them. There were a bunch of really good ones, and usually I record the session. But with the audio issues that were going on, there was no way that I was going to be able to record it. So everything that happened in that super session was meant for us in that moment in time together. And it was awesome to have all the people in there and sharing stories, whether it been for Imagine Listening or open mic, but especially the Imagine Listening part. Again, thank you all for being there and being there in support. Even if you didn't share a story, you were there in support of your brothers and sisters of the Thin Gold Line. So thank you so much for that. But once we got to the portion of open mic, again, it only takes one call for all of the calls to go downhill. And oh, it looks like Carbine is joined right on time as I'm about to talk about some of these calls. But thank you so much for being a sponsor, especially for open mic. Oh man, this is going to get crazy now. So one of the stories that was shared was of a caller who called in who kept saying that, in Halcyon, if you are still on, maybe you can help me in the comments, because I'm trying to remember correctly, but I think what it was the fact that it was a lady who called in. Okay, it was a lady who called in, and I think she was one who called in a lot, and she called in and she ended up saying that there were 2 other people, maybe like her ex-boyfriend and his new girlfriend or something like that. They somehow injected voodoo somewhere. No lie, man. No lie. Like, this was the call that this person was talking about. That this lady kept calling, and it was multiple times that the person called and said that the ex and the new girlfriend had somehow injected voodoo into her lady bits. Oh, that's so bad. That's so horrible. But that's what they said. That's what they ended up saying, that the person had said. Oh, hold on a minute. The person here on Instagram says, don't they make a little blue pill for that, or a cream? I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing so, but the injection into that area, I don't. That's pretty gnarly. I mean, anyone here on Instagram and anyone here as well on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, have you gotten a call like that? Have you ever received a call where someone mentioned something to that effect? Like I said, it's not about the caller, it's the situation. The situation. And a lot of people don't they don't understand, like what types of 911 calls come in? What are the emergencies that come in? Well, a lot of times they're not emergencies that come in. I mean, they are. Like, okay, let me say that again. I'm guessing this was that person's emergency, okay? And who knows? I mean, maybe it was right. Maybe maybe they did inject some voodoo or something. But the majority of the time, calls that come into 911, they're not emergencies that come in. A lot of times when we're answering the phone, one of the things that we hear right off the bat is, well, I don't have an emergency, but, and that's how it happens. And you're like, okay, well, can I put you, and for me specifically, there was one time that I answered 911 and I said, Elegant 911, where's emergency? Excuse me. And what I ended up hearing was, oh, well, I don't actually have an emergency. And I said, okay, well, I need to put you on hold really quick, okay? And then the person says, okay, no, I do have an emergency. And I said, okay, go ahead. What is your emergency? And then, they were asking for like fireworks times or something like that. And I said, that's not an emergency. I have to put you on hold. So then I put them on hold. And when I got back on with them, they were not happy with me. But I mean, what do you do? I'm sure that's one of the things that you all have, dealt with as well. So hold on a minute. I've got a couple here. So one here says, see, this is the stuff that comes in that sometimes, do I read it? Should I read it? Should I read it? I don't know why I was looking this way. Like the camera's over here. It's not over here. I'm not at home. The camera's right here and here. Good Lord. I'm losing it. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and read it. I mean, we're all out of dispatch, right? We're adults. There's a warning at the beginning of this broadcast. And if my mom is watching, I apologize. Okay. So this person, and this is in quotes. This is so bad. It says, my vajayjay is on fire. And then in parentheses, it says, real call. And then it says, and this one is my favorite. And this is in quotes. I popped a zit on my... Yeah, what? I'm sure you can fill it in. I'm sure you can fill in what it says there about popping a zit on someone's. Just think of the show. I'll just say it. Balls. Oh God, it's so gross. Oh, so horrible. But thank you for sharing on Instagram. Thank you for sharing that story. Oh, that's so bad. I'm glad I have my contacts on, because usually when I'm just wearing my glasses, and I'm laughing really hard, my eyes will start watering, and my my son just posted on Instagram. He says, "Good night and big balls." We've been watching a lot of the show Wipeout, like the 2008 version of Wipeout, and that's what the one of the hosts says every single time when he says good night, and big balls. Good God. There's another story over here, and it says, I took a call last Wednesday. This fine citizen was complaining about kids playing basketball. I asked for his name. You don't need my effing name. All I said was, sir, this is my job. He said, I'm Santa Claus. Needless to say, things must be tough for old Santa. He's not jolly no more. Oh man. Yeah, that's right. He turned into a dick. Oh man, this is funny. Um, let's see. So the person over here on Instagram says, I didn't know if I should send the fire department or an ambulance to the JJ call. So what did you do? What did you send? What did you send? What did you end up sending then? And Shannon, was there more to the call or to the story that you had put in? Because so a lot of times over here, like on StreamYard and stuff, for whatever reason, if the story is too long, it'll throw like an ellipsis on there just to show that there's more to it. You know what it's supposed to do in punctuation. But I can't see the rest of it. So if there's more to the story, please copy and paste. So all I got was he's not jolly no more. And Carla's throwing up a vomit face there. Let's see. Over here on Instagram, it says, I sent an ambulance. No smoke, no fire, right? I don't know. The person did say that their shit was on fire. So, I mean, I guess it can go either way, right? It can go either way. One of the two. It's so bad. Oh man. Keep them coming though. Keep them coming. Keep the stories coming here as I'm talking about these. So that was one. That was one of the ones that was sent in. Oh, over here it says, LOL. Yeah, the police met with Santa and stop being a dick and go to bed. It's funny that that's what happened because that's what I had said, that he turned into that. Oh, geez. Yep. See, that's why I love doing this. Again, coming on here, sharing funny stories. If you have a low number, it is my hope that by the end of this, that number goes up a little higher, right? And and we just get more funny stories out of this. That's why we do this every week, to check in with each other and then just kind of lift each other up through humor. It's always a lot of fun. So another story that was shared, it was a person who called in because they had an 8-inch like toy that was God. That was stuck. That was stuck inside them. Now, the person ended up being fine. Okay, the person ended up being fine. What was funny about this was, so remember I mentioned in the beginning the sound guy, right? I mentioned the sound guy. Very, very cool guy, an elderly gentleman who was just a very cool guy. Anyway, he left. Okay, he left to get a cord that he needed to try to continue to fix the sound, and so he ends up coming in. Okay, he comes in right as the person is telling this story and says the guy kept calling in saying that he had an 8-inch and the door shuts. You hear the person over the sound system say this, and the sound guy goes, the look on his face was priceless. I felt kind of bad, but it was funny as hell because, I mean, how would you feel, okay, if you walked out for just a moment for this session so that you can get something to help with the sound, and as soon as the door shuts, that's what you hear? How would you react? The look on his face was just priceless. It was just like he actually jumped. He jumped up and was in shock. Just and then you could hear him go, "Oh." Oh man. But then he started laughing though. So that was good. He wasn't offended. He started laughing and then stood there for the rest of the session because he was listening to all the funny stories that were coming in. But I just, again, to walk in as you hear that, that had to be the craziest thing for that dude. And I called him out. I that was the dickish thing of for me was I called him out. I called him out on it because we are all dying laughing. But I ended up right after that. I said, "Did you all see him, the sound guy over there?" I was like, "Thank you so much for everything that you're doing." I said, "But did anybody see when he came in?" And I did, a little impression of him, what he was doing, and he's just ha ha ha, ha, just laughing about the whole thing. Oh man, it was so good. Let me look in the comments here really quick. Carla says, "I'm glad you postponed. I was unavailable yesterday. It was my birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday." I wasn't on social media a lot yesterday, so I apologize for not putting it out there, but I'm putting it out there now. Happy birthday. I hope you had an excellent one, and I am glad you are here tonight. This is good. Thank you. Let's see, looking over here at Instagram, it says, if I were Santa, I'd have a big old bag of... Oh, geez. If I were Santa, I'd have a big old bag of dicks to throw at certain people. I'm kind of terrible. Or I'm kind of a terrible person. Oh, man. That is funny. That is really funny. Okay, let me see here. Let me look at my notes. Okay. So also last night, not last night, it was a couple nights ago. A lot of us ended up getting together and we went to a speakeasy. And it was superb. It was awesome. I cannot remember the name of the place, but it was excellent. It was a really, really cool place. We had a lot of fun. But, while we're there, we end up telling a bunch of stories. And the reason I'm telling you about this is because everyone wanted me to tell my Red Bull, Red Bomb burrito story. Okay? And I know a lot of you know the story. I'm not going to go into the story right now. However, I told the story while we're sitting there in this speakeasy. Oh, it was so embarrassing. I still did it though because it was funny as hell. If you know the story, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And my son Logan goes, "Oh God." Yeah, buddy. So here's another thing. Last weekend, my son Logan and I were at the gas station, and we were looking in the coolers. I think it was getting ice or something. I don't even remember now. But those burritos were there. The burritos were in the cooler. And I took a picture. I haven't posted it. I need to post it because I found them there, and it was hilarious. I was like, "These are the burritos. This is the burrito that destroyed me in dispatch that one night." Anyway, I'm telling this story there, okay, in the speakeasy. Luckily, we were the only ones left, besides the ones that are working there, of course. And it was superb because the waiter the waiter ended up, what? Joyce says, "We need to hear this down here." What? I'm telling you right now. Where are you? So he walks in right at the point where God, that's so bad. Right at the point where I'm telling everyone, now, if you've ever done something like this before, if you've ever held in having to go to the bathroom, if you've held it in, then what happens is that gas travels up and turns into back farts. That was the moment that the waiter walked in He walked up to see if anyone else needed anything, and that's what he heard, back farts. And he's like, oh. I'm sure he got a good tip, but it was just so freaking funny that would be that was twice now that something like that happened with the sound guy and the toy, and then with the waiter walking in as I'm talking about back farts and my shit story with this burrito and the Red Bull. Oh man, this time I didn't feel bad. It was fine. We were all there. We were all laughing so hard. It was such a good time. But it was just hilarious for that dude to be walking in at that moment when I'm talking about me struggling because my dumbass drank a 12-ounce Red Bull and ate a gas station burrito. And I was having a shit-tastic time. So, okay, so hold on. So here's a question. Those who are watching right now, have you ever had a time, a situation, an incident, where you're on a phone call, you're on a 911 call, okay, 911, or non-emergency, either one, and your stomach starts talking to you, and you know it's time. It's time to unload. But you're on a phone call, and you might not have a chance. Have you had that happen? I need to know. I can't be the only one. Maybe not to the extent that mine happened, because it was horrible. Like, I had a trilogy all in one sitting. So I want to give you a chance here, those who are watching on Instagram and those who are over here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Have any of you had a time? There's a quote here. Quoted me as saying, "It's time to unload, Ricardo, 2021, colorized." Thanks. That's good. Let's see. Shannon says, laugh my ass off. Yeah, I had to have my partner take over the call. Things almost got real bad. Yes, I'm not the only one. Good. Thank you so much for sharing that. That is badass. Let's see. Over here on Instagram, solo dispatcher with a portable phone, 24-hour shits, or 24-hour shifts, not shits. I'm sorry. She didn't say 24-hour poo. The shift that she was working. That was bad. Same person over here on Instagram says, I can see Rafiki from The Lion King holding that cub up and saying, it is time. Oh, geez. That is excellent. And then, hold on. No. Shits is right and appropriate. Let's see. Trey here says, I think we've all had that, man. Haha. And of course, it's always the call that goes on forever. Right. Yeah, it is, right? So good. I'm not the only one who has had something like this happen. And yes, for me, it was the call that it was why can't I think of it? It was a pursuit. That's what it was. It was a pursuit. So and the car kept going back and forth, and it was taking forever, man. And yes, so I agree. It's always the one that takes the longest. Let's see. Logan over here on Instagram says, you guys really have some crappy moments. Yes, you're right. Yes, that does happen. Let's see. Carl over here says, I quickly closed the call and ran down the hall vomiting. Haven't had an Arby's roast beef sandwich since. Oh, wait. Hold on a minute. You had food poisoning? Oh, no. Dude. Oh, this person over here on Instagram says, I consider myself to be a part-time turd burglar as well. Hashtag turd burglar. We use that term only when you have to go to the bathroom really, really bad, and you go to the bathroom and then nothing happens. You're like, man, I've been burgled. You've been turd burgled. Man, if there are any people on either side of me right now, they're probably like, what is this person talking about? Who is he talking to? Oh, Carla says no, it was the flu. Dude, I can't even imagine. So you're taking the call, and you had an Arby's roast beef sandwich, the roast beef, because they got the meats, right? and then you have to get off the phone and run. And dude, I probably wouldn't have a roast beef sandwich either, probably ever again, because there are some things that end up coming back up that that is just not good, like ground beef, right? Okay, we'll stop talking about that part of it. Let's see. Dude, what is it with Arby's and food poisoning? That roast beef, we have the meat and the pukes and the poops. Yeah, that's a good one. That's their new slogan now. Let's see. Shannon over here says, "Oh God, I just had an Arby's sandwich." Well, okay, so it wasn't bad though. Carla says that, that she had the flu, and also hashtag don't have kids. Oh, geez. Okay, so it's good to know that I'm not the only one who has had an issue in dispatch with that happen, because a lot of times the other things too that happen is that you're trying to eat, right? You're trying to eat when you're sitting there, and sometimes you end up with a big old chunk of whatever it is that you're eating on the side of your mouth, and you look like you're all in squirrel mode, holding it in there. And so I remember one time in dispatch, I had, yes, full chipmunk mode, exactly. I remember in dispatch I had I think it was in the morning, it was a morning shift, and we had a grill that sat right out in back of the center. You'd open the back door rather, and there's like a little deck there that we had looking out on an all sport lake. It was beautiful scenery. But there's a grill right there. So in the morning, I would bring in a steak sometimes to grill up steak for steak and eggs. And it was so smelling so good, so awesome. And then I take a phone call. As I'm sitting there, I had just taken a big old chunk, and I was chewing, and oh man, and that thing was like butter too. It was so good. But I had to chipmunk mode. I had to put it on the side of my mouth, and I'm talking and it's just sitting there getting all gross and mancha, all nasty and everything. And it was not good. It was not good at all. So the call went for a little while because the officer wasn't close. Luckily, what was going on was I had a few moments where I could mute my microphone and start chewing as fast as I could, but it was nasty, man. I think I eventually just threw it out because it was gross. Like I couldn't eat it anymore. And I'm pretty sure that I tried to warm up that steak a few times before I finally got a chance to eat it. And by then I didn't even want to eat no more. I was pissed. Oh man. But such is life, right? Such is this bad life. You don't always get to eat a warm meal and everything, but that's how it turns out sometimes. Over here on Instagram says foods never eat in dispatch, wings or ribs. This is true. How many of you have tried to do that? Eat wings or ribs while you're trying to take phone calls? If you have a headset on, you're probably good to go, right? You're fine. But if you don't, then, and you have like barbecue sauce or whatever on your hands, and the phone rings and you go to pick it up, and it's like 911, where's your emergency? And every time you move your hand, it's like or what if you're the one who's coming in to relieve that person and you go to pick up the phone? You haven't put your headset in, you've got the next phone call, and you pick it up and your hand has hot sauce or barbecue sauce on it, and you're like, what the hell? Where did this come from? As you're on the phone. Or if you have the phone like this and it's just all over your shoulder. Oh, that's so horrible. That would be bad. That would be the worst part. It wouldn't even matter anymore that you're if you were the one that you're trying to eat wings or ribs while you're sitting there. It's the person who comes in after that who is trying to use the phone or keyboard or mouse or whatever, and you've got shit all over the place, because sometimes people do not clean up, right? They don't clean them after themselves. Shannon says, full send with the wings. There's nothing like a saucy keyboard. Keep it classy, right? Over here on Instagram, and then God forbid your contacts start bugging you after suicide wings. Right? Recorded line has me saying, why the fuck is this phone so sticky? And then it gets QA'd, right? And then it gets QA'd. Like, what happened? Why did you say that? It was a true question. Why is the phone sticky? Let's see over here on StreamYard. Haley says, it's when the sauce gets in between the keys when they try to take notes. Yes. But then, afterwards it starts sticking. So you're typing and it's just popping up. Or you see someone who is eating chips or whatever over the keyboard, and you're like, dude, no, because then you have to come in after, right? You come in after and you get that keyboard and you flip it on the side, and you're like, and like half a bag of chips falls out, a variety of chips. You got Fritos, Doritos, Funyuns, and Munchos all coming out of that keyboard. Logan says, these sound effects are making it all the better. Good, I'm glad. Haley says, QA is asking you why your notes have 3 high S in your CAD notes. Yep. And it was all because the person that you relieved was eating saucy wings or barbecue ribs. Oh, Lord. That is so bad. So here's the question. And again, if you have any funny calls or anything, throw them in there. We've got about 10 minutes left here, and I'll go ahead and read them. But another question as we're talking about this stuff, and my good friend, Tanya Lee, who's the manager with Evans Care, she does a presentation where she shows stuff that's been left on keyboards and everything. And one of the things that I get grossed out with the most, I don't even want to say it, is toenails. Toenails that come out of the keyboard. Why? Like, how is that possible? Like, why does that happen? I don't. That one is gross. And the picture that she has is just gnarly, man. I'm pretty sure like one of the shift buttons is popped out of the keyboard, and there's just nails all up in that piece, and it is gross. Carla says, because people are nasty. Shannon says, ew. Who's out there being that nasty? Oh, yes. Tim just reminded me. Yes. There was a thermos that someone found that had that had vomit in it as well. Like, come on. You don't need to keep that hot or cold. There's no reason for that, man. That is so gross. Hold on a minute. Let me see. Hold on. I got to go back here. It says, no, the worst is relieving someone who has nasty swamp ass and body odor. I swear the guy shit himself. It stunk for an hour, even after I cleaned. Oh, oof. It smelled like beef. Like Dinty Moore beef right when you open the can. Oh, that's so bad. Hold on. Over here it says, who the F is cutting their talons on the console? Their talons? That's right. That's the question. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why that happens. It's the craziest thing. If I had the picture right now, I would definitely show you. But I don't have the picture, and it is gross as hell. I think probably one of the things that I found underneath the keyboard once was a fork. It was a used fork. Like, it had food, like stains on the fork and stuff, but it was underneath the keyboard. I was moving the keyboard and I felt something hit my hand and I was like, oh, like, what the hell? What is that? Excuse me. And I lift the keyboard and there it is. Someone's fork. It looked like they had been eating lasagna or something. And it was not good. But nails and stuff that I've never found personally, from what I remember in dispatch. I've never found anything like that. It was horrible. Let's see. Haley over here says they made a whole chapter on hygiene and dress code, including what not to eat in our public safety telecommunicators class. For real? That is awesome. I mean, that is good. That's good. That's good. A whole chapter on hygiene and dress code and what not to eat. So what were some of the things? Do you remember? What were some of the things that you were not supposed to eat? And as I'm waiting for you, Haley, anybody else here, whether you be on Instagram or Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, what are some of the foods that you think are in there that you're not supposed to eat, at your console? What are some of the foods? I want to know. For me, chips. Chips, of course, is one of them. I would think chips for sure. And here on Instagram, no fish. Yes, no offense to anyone who loves fish. I love fish as well. However, when you're microwaving that shit, it not only stinks up the break room, but also dispatch. Let's see. Logan here says Taco Bell burritos and tacos. Haley says, with an emphasis on showering and deodorant, no fish, no wings, no shrimp, or asparagus. What? Wait a minute. Wait. Okay, the shrimp I get, yes, but what if it's popcorn shrimp? Then again, the breading, all the crumbs, yeah, I can see where that would, that would be bad as well. But of course, if you got like a shrimp cocktail or something and you're like sitting there taking it apart as you're trying to take a call, like, yeah, all right. Yeah, no, we can get somebody out there for the neighbor. And you said the dog is outside right now. I can see that. I can definitely see that because you're trying to open it up and that's nasty as well. You're getting all of those juices and everything on the phone or the keyboard or wherever else on the console. And that shit's expensive. So I can see that. Yes, I can see that. Let's see over here on Instagram, heating up fish in a shared microwave should be a capital offense. Peanut or other nut butters also in the microwave. Oh, allergic. Yeah, allergies. I get that. And then asparagus makes your pee smell toxic. Yes. Especially if you're using the bathroom that's inside the center, because a lot of centers have two different bathrooms, right? You've got the one that's right in the center for when you can't make it down the hall. And then the one down the hall where you can drop heat all you want and it'll be fine. Yes. Let's see. Trey over here says microwave fish or broccoli, please no. And then Haley says asparagus causes gas, apparently. Trey says, does it require gas X? Leave it home, please. There was an open mic session once where I'm pretty sure this was in North Carolina, where the story was shared, as we're talking about gas, that they had a fart corner. So if in the middle of the shift or whatever is going on, they could roll their chair or walk over to that corner, crack off a biscuit. Crack off a biscuit and then continue on. Yep, just burnt and then just go and then continue on what you're doing. God. Let's see over here on Instagram. Any Indian food with a ton of curry. I mean, it could be messy, right? But you could also screw up your stomach and then you will be in down the hall forever. Oh man, this is funny. I like how we were telling a bunch of stories, and if you have any other stories in there, please put them in there, because that's what we do, is share the funny stories, but also talking about this stuff that happens in dispatch that is also funny. The fact that there are certain foods that you cannot eat at the console. Let's see. Logan over here says, I just imagine, dude, was that you? Yeah, sorry. Go sit in the far corner. Yeah, that's probably how it would happen. Or the person would fully deny it, right? Fully deny it, wouldn't say anything. They'd just be like, what? No, that wasn't me. Are you serious? God. Meanwhile, in the back of your head, you're like, that was me. They actually heard it. They could smell it. I couldn't smell it. Oh man. Let's see over here. Haley says, or leave in your locker on days off. Carla also says over here, we had a girl make ramen noodles and not enough water. The center stunk for weeks from it being burned. No. And what? Sorry, I'm trying to find these things. Keep moving up here. Hold on a minute. Yeah, the ramen noodles. Oh, I can see that smelling pretty bad, especially depending on the flavor. I don't know why that was funny. The flavor of the smell that could be really bad too. Okay, that could be gross. Deborah says we did too. You burnt ramen noodles. See, but you know the other things too. The other two things is coffee. A lot of times people burn the coffee there as well. And yes, I was just going to say that as well. Just like Shannon, burnt popcorn. That is probably the single most food that is eaten in dispatch, right? Is popcorn. And it's always like the extra ass movie, fake ass buttery popcorn that is in the vending machine. And we're always cooking popcorn, microwaving popcorn. and sometimes burning it. Yes, because none of the microwaves are the same. Even if you hit the popcorn button, sometimes that shit doesn't work, right? It doesn't always work. So then you're sitting there, you're listening to it, and you start smelling it. You're like, hell no, running over to it, and then you're screwed. You can only eat like the top layer of the popcorn because excuse me, because the rest of it is burnt. And then everyone else in dispatch is pissed off because you have burnt popcorn there or burnt coffee. But it's funny. It's funny stuff. It is funny shit. Let's see. James over here. What's up, homie? He says, dude, we had a guy eat buffalo wings at 7 p.m. Around 3 a.m., we all smelt fresh buffalo wings as if the delivery guy just dropped them off. Wait, what? I turned around and asked him if he reheated his wings. His response, sorry. He had passed gas? Okay. Well, hold on. So the dude ate wings and everyone smelled something like they were fresh. Oh, my light turned off. Oh, actually, this looks all right. Oh, maybe I should have just left it like this. The battery ran out of my light, which is good because we're just over an hour here. But I want to finish this really quick. Again, James, and for those here on Instagram. So, yeah, okay, I read that right. He ended up saying, yeah, Logan, nice touch, straight up Garfield style. Okay, so I did understand that correctly. Okay, so this dude in dispatch ate buffalo wings at 7 p.m. Around 3 a.m. They smelled them fresh, like fresh out of the bag style. He says, like they had just been dropped off by a delivery guy. However, it was simply the same dude who cracked off a biscuit. And somehow it smelled fresh. How is that possible? Carla says, how often do you have to eat wings for your gas to smell like it? Exactly. You must be eating wings a lot for it to smell. I can't even talk anymore. For it to smell fresh out the ass. Oh, I see people on Instagram joining in here, and I apologize for you coming in right at that part. But I will tell this story again because it looks like there's a few of them that just jumped in here. And my homie James over here said, dude, we had a guy eat buffalo wings at 7 p.m. Around 3 a.m. We smelled fresh buffalo wings as if the delivery guy just dropped them off. I turned around and asked him if he reheated his wings, and his response was just, sorry. He had passed gas. Oh, wow. That was perfect. That was a good ending. Logan over here says, welcome to Wingstop. We've got wings smelled fresh out the butt. Oh, I'm so glad you were on, Logan. This is good stuff. That was awesome. James says he said it like, sorry. See, and I would have just been like, sorry. Oh, wow. Post wow. Whew. All right. Well, we are over the hour. Thank you all so very much for joining me here on Friday for Open Mic Live. Again, we usually do this every single Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, but when I'm traveling, I try to get it in on Friday or even a Saturday sometimes to be able to keep it still within the week. Sometimes there have been a couple times where I had to postpone till the following week, but I'm so glad that we were able to do this tonight and have all of you on here sharing these stories. Have been so good. And Trey, yes, I'll see you tomorrow as well, man. For anyone who is here for the 911 Wonder Women Inc. Event, it is going to be awesome. We're going to have an excellent time, and I can't wait to see all of you. And that organization, the nonprofit, is just doing some amazing things. So make sure to keep looking out for everything that they're doing. And as always, tonight has been a lot of fun. All of you here on Instagram and all of you here on Facebook, YouTube, as well as Twitter. This episode, this live broadcast, has been sponsored by InDigital, as well as Rapid Deploy and Carbine. And thank you so very much to the sponsors, as well as patrons. Shout out to all of you. I would not be able to do this if it wasn't for all of you. And those who are here, who listen, share, and support. Thank you so very much. And then once again, a shout out to the Kentucky Emergency Services Conference for having me there, for inviting me back to not only be a speaker, but also do the podcast there. It was a lot of fun. Thank you very much. If you have any comments, questions, or you want to be a guest on the show, you can email us, and that's going to be wttpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter, and that is @91podcast. You can like us on Facebook. That is facebook.com/Within the Trenches Podcast. And you can follow us on Instagram as well, and that is @WTT Podcast. If you're looking for any bonus content, you can check us out and support us there. And big ups to Trey once again for being a new patron, and that is going to be patreon.com/WTT Podcast. This can be seen on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, as well as Twitter. And then the audio actually for this episode will go out to patrons. That's a perk that patrons get. Dispatchers Roundtable, as well as Open Mic Live, the audio parts for that end up going to them. So thank you again very much. And I do have a couple Dispatchers Roundtables that are going to be coming up at the end of this month, and then just continuing on and on. We've got a lot of good stuff that's going to be coming up, so make sure to check that out. The flagship show, Within the Trenches Podcast, can be heard 24/7 on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app, and withinthetrenches.net. Have a good one, everyone. And really quick, since I still have you on here for just one moment, what are your numbers? As I go into the closeout, you can continue to put your numbers into the comments, and I'll be able to see them as well. I was at a 9. I am way above a 10 now. It was so good to be here with all of you. But throw in your number. What is your number now? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty, 10 being awesome. What is your number? I hope we were able to get that number up. Thank you so much for the job that you do as the most vital piece of public safety. And I love you all. Thank you so much for everything. And I am closing out. Peace. Have a good one.